Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. My name is Sulabh Jain, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions on what's going to be happening to the price of gold, silver and also the cryptocurrencies over the next 12 months. It is going to be spectacular. These asset classes are going to go up incredibly high. And the energy or the thing that's going to create all of this is a lot of this is caused by headwind going on in the economy right now. So some of the things that are taking place right now, with the coronavirus, the social unrest and all of this stuff, we've actually predicted a lot of this using astrology and palmistry. So if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe. And for those of you who want to see those videos, they're on my channel page, so go check that out. The world is actually going to be getting a whole lot more chaotic in the next 6 months. Right now there's chaos in America and in China especially. It's going to kick off, I believe, in Russia and also in Pakistan, as well as some of the other countries around the world. As that happens, any asset outside the traditional banking and financial system is going to do incredibly well. But let's talk specifically about the energy creating some of this. So what I want you guys to have a look at is the planet Saturn sitting in Capricorn. And so long as this planet is sitting here, it's going to cause chaos and disruption to the banking sector. Now Saturn moved into Capricorn at the very end of 2019, and since that point the stock market's been going down, banks have been chaotic, they've been talking about temporary loan repayment forgiveness and things like that. But also at about the start of this year, Jupiter entered into Capricorn. Now Saturn and Jupiter are almost opposite planets in the sense that Saturn creates deflation and it destroys things, whereas Jupiter creates optimism and joy, so loosely speaking we can say that creates inflation. So one does good things, the other does bad things. And in the economy right now we're seeing mostly the bad stuff, the deflation. That's because Jupiter has just gone retrograde and is about to enter into Sagittarius, where it's going to sit for a couple months. At the very end of this year, Jupiter is going to come back into Capricorn. There's going to be an insane amount of money printing going on at that time. And what's going to happen is this deflation versus inflation battle going on in the financial sector right now. Inflation is going to take over. If you think the trillions of dollars that the central banks have printed so far this year is crazy, wait till we get into December of this year and more so into January, February of next year. It's going to be eye-watering crazy. But then later on in 2021, Jupiter, which is a planet that travels faster than Saturn, is actually going to move a little further along Capricorn than the place where Saturn sits. And that's going to drive inflation to an even higher level. So the three key dates I want you to look at here is December at the very end of 2020 and also the period of March through to June of 2021. I think the price of gold is going to go up significantly during these times. Now before that happens, there will be a period in September of this year where things are going to get very shaky. What happens then is Ketu is going to be transiting into Scorpio. Now Ketu is a planet for detachment and it creates breaks everywhere it goes. And Scorpio is a place of hidden wealth. So anything that comes underneath the earth or any form of wealth from underneath the earth is signified by Ketu. So all the commodities and a lot of the mining companies are going to be struggling at that point in time. It may go on for about a week or two and then everything starts to go well again. But remember, because gold comes from underneath the ground and it comes through the miners, the price of gold is going to get caught up in some of that chaos there. However, if you're holding gold, especially in December and March through to June next year, I believe you're going to do exceptionally well during this crazy high inflation period. The price of silver is more or less going to follow gold, but it's going to go up even higher as a percentage relative to gold. Now remember, I think gold's going to do very well, so when I say silver's going to do well, I should say it's going to do very, very well. But the price of silver, you'll see most of those results happening in 2021. So the key to look at here is gold is the metal for the sun, whereas silver is a metal for the moon. And both of these are very strong karmic metals, or I should say karmic planets. They'll give a kind of karmic spiritual protection for anyone who's holding them. So then what about the cryptocurrencies? They're actually going to do very well, but they're a lot harder to predict. The reason being is cryptocurrencies are relatively new, and so they don't have like a zodiac sign assigned to them. You know how banking is ruled by Capricorn, or the mining industry is ruled by Scorpio. So whenever a planet goes over there, good planets there give good things for those industries, bad planets there give bad things for those industries. There's nothing like that with cryptocurrencies yet. There is, however, a single planet that does signify some changes happening to cryptos, and that's the planet Rahu. And at the end of September this year, Rahu is going to transit into Taurus. And this will happen at the exact same moment that Ketu comes into Scorpio, by the way, because Rahu is the north node of the moon and Ketu is the south node of the moon. So they work hand in hand. So what you're going to see is when Rahu does come into Taurus at the end of September, all the cryptocurrencies generally are going to start rising to a large degree. In part, this is because Rahu creates expansion everywhere it goes, but it also creates illusion. So there's going to be a lot of crypto-related scams going on at that point. So you've got to be very careful if you don't know what you're doing with cryptocurrencies to get into it at that point in time. So I actually think Bitcoin is going to do very well over the next 12 months, but you've got to get into it more so after September and more into October. Remember, anything outside the banking industry is going to do very well as Saturn brings a whole system to its knees. And then there are a whole range of other cryptocurrencies as well that I can't get into right now, except to say that as inflation kicks in, generally a lot of these cryptos are going to go up. In the medium to long term though, I don't know about the viability. I can say, generally speaking, over the next 12 months, they should be doing pretty well. Now, I also have to throw out the caveat, guys. I'm not a financial planner giving you guys individual financial advice. I'm just telling you where the energy is with all of this stuff. You guys figure out how you want to work with this energy. Now, that's going to be the general trend with the cryptocurrencies in that they should go up as inflation kicks in. The value of the cryptos is a whole other question because a lot of these are not going to be viable in the long term. I think it's plausible that after maybe the next 12 to 24 months, a lot of governments are going to be putting out their own cryptocurrencies as their whole banking sectors come down to ground. It's debatable what Bitcoin and a lot of these other ones will be worth at that point in time. So take that with a grain of salt. I do think that gold and silver will hold value even after this whole thing resets itself. Now, if you have any questions, guys, put them in the comment section below. And one thing I've started up on my channel is we've got a membership section here. So if you guys want to help us out for only a few dollars a month, you can get a whole lot of extra perks and extra videos to support us as well. So thanks a lot, guys.